Hello everyone. Decided to do a few of these problems here on the worksheet for you all, so if you're having a tough time on it, you can use these ones as kind of a reference. So if we look at, let's start here with number 2. If we look at this polynomial, it's 25x squared plus 20x, and we are trying to factor the, why is my pen not working here? We're trying to factor the common factor out of each expression. Okay, so what would the GCF? So we need to find the GCF of the two terms. If we're looking at the numbers 25 and 20 and all of their factors, 25 we can think 1 and 25, 5 and 5, and I think that's all the factors of 25. 20, you have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 times 5. So the GCF of the numbers, it appears, would be 5. Okay, so we can, if we're trying to find what the GCF is, we know that it is 5. And when we look at the variables, we've got x squared and x, so the variable is in both terms. So we can take the lowest exponent, x to the first. So the GCF is 5x, and that is what we are going to factor out. So what this looks like, okay, this is kind of undoing the distributive property. So we've got 5x outside of our parentheses. That is just the GCF. That's what we're factoring out. And inside of our parentheses, we're going to take what we had, 25x squared, and we're going to divide it by 5x. We're going to take 20x, and we're going to divide it by 5x. And that'll be what we have left inside of our parentheses. So we've got the GCF outside, 5x. 25 divided by 5 is 5. X squared divided by x is x. Plus 20 divided by 5 is 4. X over x, they cancel out. So this is 5x times 5x plus 4. This is the answer. That is us factoring out the common factor. Okay? So that is one example. These next couple are trinomials. They have one variable in both of them, so they're pretty similar problems. I think we'll tackle the one here on the right. We'll take a look at number 4. Okay, so we've got a cubed plus 5a squared minus 3. So the numbers that we're comparing, so the a cubed, that would have a coefficient of 1. So we're trying to find the GCF of 1, 5, and 3. Okay, so 1, guess the only factors of 1 are 1 and 1. 1 and 5, and 3 is 1 and 3. So the GCF of the numbers is 1. 1's the greatest common factor. The variables, though, the variable a is in each term, so the GCF would be 1, and we take the lowest exponent, so that'd be a to the first. 1a, or, guys, we know that's just a. We don't need to write the 1. Okay, so we're factoring out a. So we bring a outside of our parentheses. We take each term and we divide it by the GCF. So that would leave us a. A cubed over a is a squared. Just subtract your exponents. Plus 5a squared over a is a to the first. Minus 3a over a is canceling, so minus 3. And that would be your answer here. Okay, the next two, 5 and 6, okay, both of these have two variables. Pretty similar. Let's go ahead and do 5. Okay, so 25 a to the 5th b squared plus 10 a to the 6th b to the 6th. So we'll do the same thing. Let's find the GCF of 25 and 10. Some of you guys are probably getting pretty good at this and can figure already. But again, if you'd like to list all factors, 1 and 25, 5 and 5, that sums it up for 25. For 10, 1 and 10, 2 and 5. So the GCF would be a factor of 5. for our numbers part. And for the variables, again, if the variable shows up in both terms, it can come out and you take the lowest exponent. So looks like that would be a. A is in both terms. The lowest exponent would be 5, a to the 5th. B is in both terms. We've got b squared and b to the 6th, so we'll take the lowest exponent, b squared. Okay, that's our GCF that we're going to factor out. 5a to the 5th b squared. We're factoring that out of 25a to the 5th b squared. Yikes, I'm going to run out of room, so I'm going to have to erase this just so I don't scrunch up too much. You guys should have caught that work there. Or you can go back if you missed it. So 25a to the 5th b squared, we're dividing that by 5a to the 5th b squared plus 10a to the 6th b to the 6th divided by 5a to the 5th b squared. Yeah, I really did run out of room. I should have made these boxes a little bigger. I know you guys don't struggle to write smaller than I do, so let's simplify this. So we've got our GCF outside of my parentheses. Inside, 25 over 5 would be 5. A to the 5th divided by a to the 5th, those would cancel. B squared divided by b squared, those would cancel. They'd become a to the 0 and b to the 0, which is just 1. So they cancel out. Plus 10 over 5 is 2. A to the 6th over a to the 5th becomes a to the 1st. B to the 6th over b squared becomes b to the 4th. So that is factored. Okay. Yes, 7 and 8. 3 terms. All of our both problems have 2 variables, so kind of challenging there, but I think taking you guys through those 3 problems should help you out. So again, do as best you can on this assignment, and I'll see you all tomorrow.